Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. I am so glad to be here, and I am so glad to have you all here. It is fantastic to see you all. Hi, Karen. Hi, Melba. Hi, Jane. Hi, Joanna. Hi, everybody else out there. It's fantastic to see you again. This is so much fun. I love seeing you all. And this is really something that, is, if you couldn't tell already, is giving me just the greatest sense of energy, just having you all with me traveling on this journey and learning more and more, not only about the broader spiritual world, but our own spirituality and ways that we can get closer to the spiritual world, get closer to each other's spiritual energy. How is it that we can all raise the spiritual awareness and vibration of humanity? Raise the vibration of the earth, because that's what we're all here. We all got to live with each other, so we might as well make the best of it, right? So that's really what this is all about, is teaching each other how is it that we can learn to love each other as well as learn to love ourselves. And on that note, I've got to give a shout out to my wife. It's our anniversary today. Yay. Of course, did I remember? No. I'm going to pay for that one later, I'm sure. But nonetheless, so I send out all my love to my beautiful wife. So today, what we're talking about is the focus that is the primary benefit of meditation. This whole month, we're talking about meditation, right? And last week, we were talking about some of the scientific based benefits about meditation. We went through an entire list. Many of them, of course, were health related, heart related. In fact, one of the things I want to bring up is this list right here. It talks about all the scientific based meditation benefits. If you'll remember from last week, what we were talking about was lowering cortisol levels, controlling anxiety, helping you to cope, helping your emotional health, helping your self awareness, keeping your attention span longer, generating kindness and forgiveness. Ding, 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 ding. That's kind of what we were talking about, right? We were talking about love and trying to raise a spiritual awareness and forgiveness and the vibration of humanity. And those are some big things right there. So also it's helping us to focus our self-control, so it helps to fight addictions. I mean, this world, we've got so many addictions, we really got to help each other try to work on that. Also, sleep helps control pain, lower blood pressure, and the best part about it, of course, is that something like that can be done anywhere. Meditation can be done anywhere. It's easy, and it doesn't have to be done for long periods of time. You can meditate for 5 minutes and that's it. All you have to do is make sure that, like anything, like any good practice, is that you make that practice consistent. Make the practice something that you're always doing it every day. I don't know if you've ever read the book The Slight Edge. Let me know if you've read the book The Slight Edge, because that is one of the best books. The whole concept is that it's like the law of compounding, or the law of compound interest. If you keep increasing or improving, it's like continuous improvement. If you keep improving something every single day, it's those small, tiny little habits that, if done every day, over the long term, are going to generate tremendous benefits down the road. Exactly like meditation. If you meditate 5, 10 minutes every single day over the next 12 months, you'll have a tremendous impact. You'll have a wonderful awakening. You'll have a wonderful position. You'll be a different person in 12 months. I guarantee that. Just look at me. After that first 12 months of meditating every day for 10, 15 minutes a day, I didn't expect it, but I sure wound up in a totally different place, right? Anyway, so this is all just a long way of saying meditation is not difficult if you just do it every day, do it 5 minutes, listen to a track that you like, and it's that easy. But the primary benefit that meditation really helps you with is your focus. I mean, think about it every single day. Every single day, we're completely stressed out, right? So what meditation does is meditation. That's kind of the biggest That's the biggest benefit. Meditation really helps you focus, because meditation is requiring your mind, requiring you to keep on thinking about one thing constantly. because our monkey mind, right? That's our monkey mind is our conscious mind where it's constantly yapping away, yappity, yappity, yap. And we're constantly thinking all these different thoughts. So we're never really constantly focused. We're constantly thinking, did I pay the bills? Did I take out the trash? Did I do this? Did I do that? Did I do the other thing? Whereas meditation stops you and then has you focus on one thing, has you focus on maybe your breathing, has you focus on maybe your energy, maybe it has you focus on your muscle groups, maybe it has you focus on different aspects of your being or visualizations. Perhaps you're really focusing on a scene, maybe you're in the woods, maybe you're at a lake, maybe you're in space, maybe you're at a beach, whatever the scene might be. Or maybe you're doing mantras and you're just repeating words and phrases over and over and over again, right? Concept is it's all focus. So what that winds up doing is that when you're in this kind of position right here, where you're totally stressed out, right? You're totally just going, oh my God, how am I going to continue? How am I going to cope? I don't have the energy. I'm just going off the deep end, right? What you wind up doing is if you keep on allowing the meditation to come in, this is where you wind up. You wind up in a place of calm. You wind up in a place of peace. You wind up in a place of relaxation. And that's what meditation is all about. Meditation is all about peace, calm, relaxation. It's something that allows you to really take your mind away from the 20,000 thoughts that you're always, coming up with, and allows you to focus and allows you to take one step at a time forward, right? So you're thinking to yourself, where am I going to go next? What's the next thought? I'm going forward. And as a result, going forward, you're walking down that road. You start to begin to walk down this path. You start to take yourself from point A to point B to point C to point D because you're focusing every single aspect of your being. Perhaps you're focusing on that road as a visualization, or maybe that forest that you're walking through. The concept is you're staying on the road, you're staying on the path, you're staying on the place where you want to be, rather than being in this state of total frustration and aggravation and getting absolutely wigged out. You're here walking along the calm path. And as you walk along the calm path, that's when you really begin to feel something dramatic start to take shape, because you're no longer in this place of just helter skelter. You're now focused. And when you focus, this happens. This is when you begin to allow the spirit world to begin to communicate with you, because no longer are you creating all this excess noise, all this helter-skelter jumbo discussion that your monkey mind, your conscious mind is constantly jabbering about. That's been put to the side. Now you're quiet. Now you're focused. Now you are no longer putting excess noise in your mind. You're now quiet and calm. And that's when the spirit world begins to enter. Because if you've ever experienced it, that's when you begin to hear little sounds, little voices, little thoughts that start to come into your experience. If you're at a point where you've started to hear things, or you started to feel things, or you started to become more aware of different things, perhaps during a meditation, you may think to yourself, oh, that's just my imagination. That's just my subconscious. But it's not. That's the spirit world coming through. That's the spirit world trying to knock on your door and say, hey, we are here. Most people tend to not believe themselves. No, most people tend to say, this is something beyond me. I can't fathom what I'm actually experiencing. So therefore, it's got to be my subconscious mind. I'm here to tell you that from a person where I used to be a complete and total materialist, I used to be there too. I used to be a complete and utter skeptic. After having my awakening, I totally did a 180. And now, after so many years of doing this, I understand the difference. And I've been kind of in both camps. So I understand what it felt like where I was like, nah, that's just my mind, right? To the point of like, okay, yeah, now I'm hearing them, now I know them, now I understand them, now I'm at one with the spirit world, and it's a wonderful feeling. And that's kind of one of the things that you really want to connect with. You want to connect with the spirit world because they're bringing you love, compassion, healing, and joy. They want your existence to be filled with joy and filled with compassion and happiness. They want our world to be as happy as we want our world to be happy, right? They're always coming to us saying, live your life to the fullest. In fact, every single reading I do for a client, for example, one of the messages that comes through is almost always live your life to the fullest. In fact, one of the last trance readings that I did last week, one of the guides that I was bringing through was adamant about having us fill our lives full of happiness and living our life to the fullest. And he went on and on and on about that. I'll have to bring that in either next time or in a couple of weeks when I start talking about that. The concept is they want us to be full of joy. And so when you're in this state of awareness, you're in this state of focus, then you are filled with joy. You are joy. You become joy. You become happy. It becomes your natural state where all you want to do is be filled with joy, filled with happiness, and live your life to the fullest. And that's what it's all about. That's what this life is. That's why we're here. We are here to live our life to the fullest. We're here to live a life of joy and happiness and pleasure. Everybody says, I'm not allowed to have happiness. I'm not allowed to have joy. It's not my birthright. Well, guess what? It is your birthright. And meditation will help you get there. Meditation will help you to leave this image of this guy, and it'll take you to the joy of these people right here, where no longer is it this guy, but it's these people. So that's what it's all about. Fill your life with joy. In fact, part of the trance reading was something about fill your life with joy, fill it so the cup, the brim was filled with joy and it overflowed with joy or something like that. I forget. I'll read it next time. But it was absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, when I listened to it later on, I listened to read the transcript, I was like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely phenomenal. But it's something that keeps on coming through. And so that's what meditation's all about. Meditation's all about allowing yourself to focus, getting yourself to a point of just uh, removing that monkey mind. And once you're removing the monkey mind and you're removing all that noise that comes with the monkey mind, like, did I take out the trash? Did I pay the bills? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And your mind's always going. It removes that and it takes away the noise, and there's peace and quiet, allowing the spirit world, which is very, very quiet, to come through. It's kind of like I think there was a cartoon, Elmer Fudd, be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. It's the same concept where we got to be really quiet to hear spirit. That's why when people are learning spirituality or spiritual practices or mediumship or whatever the practice is, one of the things that they're taught in the very beginning is mind control. And mind control sounds difficult and it sounds highfalutin, but the concept is it's really about focus. It's really about focusing your mind. And how do you focus your mind? Meditation. In fact, as an example of this, in mediumship circles in the UK, for example, most mediumship circles do not allow students to enter a mediumship circle until they have been meditating and sitting in the power, which is a specific type of meditation, for 12 months. Only until they've been meditating with that specific meditation for 12 months straight are they then allowed to join the circle. And the circle is nothing but practicing meditation, practicing mediumship, listening to spirits, and learning from other people around you. It's not a formal class, but it's something where you're just practicing and being with other people who are trying to learn just like you. But they don't even allow people to enter until they've been doing that for 12 months straight. And the reason why is because they're trying to get people to focus their mind. So, how do you focus? It's meditation. I don't know what it is about the 12 months, but there's something about that 12-month mark that seems to be very consistent. Like I said, when I had my awakening happened on the 12-month mark, that I had been meditating every single day. And the same thing with these UK circles. They're 12 months. So it takes about a year. But again, you don't have to sit there and do it for 30 minutes or an hour. It just takes 5-10 minutes every day. So if you sit and calm yourself for 5 or 10 minutes every single day, even if you don't want to be spiritual, even if you don't want to be a medium, just for your own benefit. Remember that list of benefits I put up in the very beginning? The benefits that you will derive from meditating 5 or 10 minutes every single day are huge. I mean, just physically, your heart health, your brain health, your emotional health, your psychological health, not to mention your spiritual health and your connection to the spirit world. You're going to be more calm. You're going to be happier, more full of joy. Your relationships will start getting better. You'll start being able to cope with pressures and difficulties, perhaps with other people, situations, maybe work, maybe play, whatever it is. You'll be able to deal with people better. You'll be able to offer more love, more happiness, more pleasure to other people because you're finally putting out your joy, your happiness, and all your positivity to other people. And that's really what it's all about. For example, the whole definition of love is trying to do for others without expecting anything in return. That's basically the definition of love, is trying to help other people without expecting anything in return because you just want the best for other people. It's as simple as that, right? Think about your own relationships. When you're truly in love with somebody else, you will do anything for that person without expecting anything in return, right? That's the definition of love. It's the same with anybody, whether you're just helping out a neighbor or you're helping out somebody in need. It doesn't even have to be that impactful. It just has to be the feeling that you want to do for somebody else without expecting anything in return because it's that love that's in your heart, right? It's just a love for another person. That's all it is. It doesn't have to be a romantic love, it just has to be love for another person. And that's really all about acceptance and forgiveness. And, that'll be a whole nother topic for another day, which we can certainly dive into. But at the moment, I kind of want to pause there and open up your questions for any of this that we've talked about, any of the questions about either meditation, any of the meditation benefits that we were talking about, any of the connections to spirit that we were talking about, or any of the questions that you've got that are going to perhaps help you down the line. Because one of the questions I often get is, how do I meditate better? Why should I meditate? What is it that's so important? And what's the primary benefit? Primary benefit is just what I was talking about before. Primary benefit is that the biggest benefit is about the focus, right? It's all about the focus. The biggest benefit is focus, 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 because it's all about focusing the mind. For example, I think we've done this before where I've taken you on a visualization meditation and it's really kind of walked you down that path. You kind of walked along a field, walked into a forest, you examined all the trees and the grass and the leaves and the wind. You walked through the forest, past the forest onto another field, and then onto a beach where that beach was lapping onto a lake. The lake was a glacier lake with huge mountains rising up in the distance, snow covered, et cetera, et cetera. And I think we went through into some detail about that. So it's really a progress. It's a procession. It's an incremental progression, if you will, of your mind, allowing you to take you from the everyday chattering mind, monkey mind that just won't sit still, to a mind where you're on a wonderful cruise, if you will. You're on a wonderful journey, if you will, whether you're focusing on the light in your chest that's expanding out to your room, to the world, to the universe, and connecting with all that is, or if it's just a visualization, or if it's a mantra, whatever it is, you always wind up being very calm and very peaceful. And at the end, you just feel at the top of the world. So that's really all the best. Um, so let's see some question. Oh, Karen was asking who the author is for The Slight Edge. The book The Slight Edge was written by Jeff Olson, Olsen, and there's several books that he also recommends all about this whole principle about the law of compounding effort. And it's basically, if everybody knows the concept of compound interest, right? You put a penny in and you just let it compound every single day for 365 days. And it keeps on doubling and doubling and doubling and doubling and doubling. At the end of a year, you'll have 37 times what you started with, right? Of course, the opposite is also true. If you just go down 1% a day, you're going to wind up at 0.03% of what, almost zero, of what you started with, right, in a year. So the concept is just basically keep repeating and improving your daily habits, your daily disciplines. And as you do, you'll slowly and keep on getting better until the very end. And the concept is like this, the tortoise and the hare. Slow and steady wins the race. The key word being steady. If you keep on improving steadily, slowly, every single day, then you're going to have massive positive results towards the end. Of course, if you just say, I'm going to ignore doing a positive thing today, or, maybe I'll have that cheeseburger, today, or I don't need to watch my diet today, or I don't need to do this today. That's a discipline that you missed. And the problem is, what's easy to do is equally as easy not to do. And that's where we all kind of trip up. We're always like, I can skip it for today. It's that easy. So the concept is to focus on what is really and truly easy to do. That's just as not easy to do, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. So that's, anyway, that's, kind of got off on a tangent. That's the great book I strongly suggest you read. Also, Atomic Habits. And I can't remember the author for that one, but it's the same concept, and it's another wonderful book. Also, you've probably heard this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, by what's his name? Steve Covey, I think it is, by Covey, Covey. So those are 3 great books, just about personal improvement, which I'm all about that here. Also getting another question. I'm seeing so many faces on the trees on the left and on the path. Yeah, so it's great. When you're in meditation, you'll start to see faces. You'll start to see things that you didn't expect to come up in your meditation. You'll start to see faces. You'll start to become aware of people, become aware of other things that you're thinking to yourself, why am I aware of these people and these things all of a sudden? Well, guess what? Remember I was telling you, as you put your conscious mind to the side, you're opening up your door to the spirit world, who's trying to finally communicate with you. They're finally able to say, oh boy, they finally turned off that crazy TV. We can finally talk to them, right? How many times, I want you to raise hands. How many times have you tried to talk to somebody while they're watching the TV? What do? They ignore you because they're focused on the darn TV. So it's exactly the same idea. When you finally turn off your own TV in your mind, all of a sudden they've got your attention. They can talk to you because there's no noise, there's no distraction, and finally you're able to hear what they're trying to say, right? So that's a big thing right there. Also, Melba's saying she's writing a book. Hope you can contribute as well. Oh, great. Yeah. So, Melba, that's awesome. Yeah, because I know you're talking about brain abilities, different aspects of the brain. So I'd love to hear about your book and everything that you've got with your book. So that's fantastic. And I'm sure that you've got a lot of insight into just sort of the human psyche and the human mind, because that's really what this is all about. It's like, how do you control the mind? How do you put the mind to the side so that you can open up to the spirit world? Because that's what it's all about, right? Uh, so, with that, I want to kind of sort of take a moment here to thank everybody, because we're nearing the top of the hour. If you've got any questions, let me know. But at this point, I wanted to just sort of say, focus on your meditation, focus on the consistency of your meditation, and focus on the ability to keep on improving your habits, because meditation is a habit just like anything else. So if you continue to improve your meditation, again, even if it's only 5 minutes, just sort of make that a habit, a to-do, right? Put that on your list of to-dos along with your list of gratitude, right? I've spoken about this a lot before. Your gratitude journal. Every single day, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Something different every day. Doesn't have to be complex, doesn't have to be wild and crazy. Just 3 things. It could be, and they've got to be like the easiest ones, right? Like, I'm so grateful for my morning coffee. Thank God I've got my morning coffee, right? Or whatever it is. Or I'm grateful for the roof over my head. Or I'm grateful for the warmth. Or I'm grateful for a sunny day or a beautiful sunset. The simple things. When you strip away everything else, because everybody says, oh, I want more money, or I want more of this, I want more of that. Strip all that away, right? Imagine if none of that mattered. Get down to the core aspects. What is it that you really love? Your family, your clothes, your food, your beingness, right? Or walking through nature, whatever it is, right? Those 3 things. Do that every day. Do your 5 or 10-minute meditation every day. Those are the 2 big habits you really should be doing every day. And if here's another trick, if you put little check marks next to the boxes every single day, you feel like you've actually accomplished something. And when you feel like you actually accomplished something, there's this wondrous desire to keep doing that, because you feel, hey, wow, I've accomplished something. I want to do that again. I want to feel it. It's the feel good hormones in your brain kick in, and they say, I want that more. I want more of that. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Right. So that's a way to lock in a habit. And it doesn't have to be very hard at all. So with that, I'm going to, sign off, and Karen's actually saying, get back to your wife and enjoy your anniversary. I reckon you need to do some groveling before I get. Yes, I do. You're absolutely right, Karen. I do need to get back to my wife and do some groveling to, have to have, since I forgot our anniversary. Shame. But that's what happens after 26 years. What am I going to do? So with that, I sign off, and I send you all my love and blessings. And if you like what we've been talking about today, and you're finding value in what I'm talking about, definitely subscribe to the channel. That way, you'll see more videos that come up. You'll see these weekly videos that come up. So you'll see the alerts, you'll see all kinds of things that happen. So if you like the material and you like what you're hearing and you're finding value in it, then subscribe. So with that, I send you love and blessings and love and light, and I will see you next week. And so bye-bye for now.